Today's day, Hare Krishna. Today's discussion will be dedicated on the pastimes of Lord Jagannath and Jagannatha Ratha Yatra. So we'll see various aspects related to that. So let's begin with singing the Jai Jagannath. So one more song. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannāth, Jai Jagannāth, Jai Jagannāth Swami, Jai Jagannāth, Jai Jagannāth, Jai Jagannāth, Jai Jagannāth Swami, Jai Jagannāth, Jai Jagannāth, Jai Jagannāth Swami, Jai Jagannāth, Jai Jagannāth, Jai Jagannāth, Jai Jagannāth Swami, Jai Jagannāth. Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, 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 Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Pathagame, Nayana Pathagame Bhavatu me. 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 Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jagannath, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Baladev, Jai Subhadra. Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath, Jai Jagannath, Jagannath, Jai Jagannath Swami, Jai Jagannath. नीलाचल चंद्रामर प्रभु जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी, जय जगन्नाथ। नीलाचल चंद्रामर प्रभु जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ। नीलाचले चंद्रामर प्रभु जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ। नीलाचले चंद्रामर प्रभु जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ। जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा, जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा, जय बलदेव जय सुभद्रा। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी, नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ। जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ, जय जगन्नाथ स्वामी जय जगन्नाथ। Oh, it's not reflecting. Is it in the laptop?
Oh, because you need to show duplicate display. Looks like.
Oh, then?
Go to settings.
Here.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, just 1 second.
Like whole desktop I can present. So,
go to settings.
System preference? Mac.
Yeah, where are the settings? Yeah, system preferences. And displays.
Displays.
And maybe arrangement. Go to arrangement.
Oh.
Mirror displays.
I see. Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. So I seek all of your blessings to begin the discussion. All the elderly devotees and senior devotees, Ramananda Saka and Bhadrimarthan Prabhu. Let's recite together to seek the blessings of the Guru Parampara and all the Vaishnava saints. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam sagrajatam sahagana raghunathannitam tam sajivam sadvaitam sabadhutam parijana sahitam krishna chaitanya devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhannitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So, Sri Jagannath, the topic of today's discussion is Sri Jagannatha Ratha Yatra, pastime, significance, and the lessons. So, today's discussion is divided into we'll be doing the part 1 of the discussion today, and the next part we'll be doing on Wednesday. So, how we are going to discuss is we first would discuss till 9 o'clock. We'll discuss some philosophy around this, and then after 9 to 10, 9 o'clock we'll sing again one more song, Jagannatha Ashtakam, and 9:15 to 10 o'clock we'll discuss some pastimes of Lord Jagannath regarding Rath Yatra. So, since Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu also intimately connected with this pastime, so let's invoke Lord Gauranga's mercy. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. So, one time, one devotee actually approached Srila Prabhupada, and he was saying that Krishna consciousness, especially in this today's age, which is degrading so quickly, it's difficult to practice. So what's our hope? So Srila Prabhupada gave a very simple answer. He said, yes, Krishna consciousness is difficult, but by the mercy of Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda, everything becomes very easy, and then we can practice. In fact, that's why we need to meditate for any, our practices first, even before we start our japa. We take the blessings of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by uttering His holy name. Because Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in a very merciful incarnation and he helps the jivas to progress towards Krishna and towards his own lotus feet. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila, chapter 8, text number 15, there is a beautiful verse which we all can take as a treasure in our life. It's like a pearl, beautiful verse. It tells that the more we discuss about the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we become astonished. In fact, there is a beautiful pastime like Srila Prabhupada. One day, he was singing this after preaching to so many places. One day he was singing this Lord Chaitanya's, this one song, Parama Karuna Bahodvijana Nitai Gaura Chandra. And because he was so intimately connected to them, he was actually stunned. He could not speak, he just began and then he just, right there he went to Samadhi and he ended right there. So this beautiful verse is Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 8.15. It says, Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Karahe Vichar Vichar Karile Chitte Paive Chamatkar. It's a beautiful verse. Let's see what's there. So I'll go back and forth. So 8.15. So it's good to read these beautiful treasures. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Karohe Vichar Vichara Karile Chitte Paive Chamatkar. If you are indeed interested in logic and argument, kindly apply it to the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you do so, you will find it to be strikingly wonderful. Let's read the purport as well. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur comments in this connection that people in general, in their narrow-minded conception of life, create many different types of humanitarian activities. But the humanitarian activities inaugurated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are different. For logicians who want to accept only that which is proven through logic and argument, it is a fact that without logic and reason, there can be no question of accepting the absolute truth. Unfortunately, when such logicians take to this path without the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they remain on the platform of logic and argument and do not advance in spiritual life. However, if one is intelligent enough to apply his arguments and logic to the subtle understanding of the fundamental spiritual substance, he will be able to know that a poor fund of knowledge established on the basis of material logic cannot help one understand the absolute truth, which is beyond the reach of imperfect senses. So I guess we are following. So basically what we are saying is here that we should apply, if somebody is interested in logic, it's very good, but we should apply the logic to understand the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Without his mercy, it is not possible. It's like a very big deal to understand the whole Krishna consciousness and the Shastras. So we need Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's blessings. The Mahabharata therefore says, Achinta khalo ye bhavana tamas tarkena yojetet. Mahabharata, Bhishma Puran 5.22. How can that which is beyond the imagination of sensory speculation of mundane creatures can be approached simply by logic? Logic and argument are very poor in spiritual strength and always imperfect when applied to spiritual understanding. By putting forward mundane logic, one frequently comes to the wrong conclusion regarding the absolute truth, and as a result of such a conclusion, one may fall down to accept a body like that of a jackal. Should we rotate the purports? What do you think, Prabhu? Should we rotate reading the purports? Yeah, I think that will be good, so that all of us can be more involved. So maybe second paragraph, somebody want to start? Mataji, you want to start the second? Here,
Despite all this, who are actually inclusive to understand the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through logic and argument are welcome. Krishna Dasa Kaviraj Goswami addresses them. Please put Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy to the crucial test. And if you are actually a logician, you will come to the right conclusion that there is no personality more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. Let the logician compare all the result of other humanitarian work with the merciful activities of Lord Chaitanya. If their argument is impartial, they will understand that no other humanitarian activities can surpass those of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Do you want me to read more, Prabhu? I can.
You'd like to read? You can rotate. Yeah, you can. Okay.
Nothing.
This one, everyone. You'd like to read the purport?
I have a different question I'll ask later.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. No problem. Okay.
Want me to read?
If you can, please. Yeah.
Wherever we can.
Here, everyone.
Everyone is engaged in humanitarian activities on the basis of the body. But from the Bhagavad Gita 2.18, chapter 2, 18th, we understand Anta Vanta ime deha nitya skokta shariraha. The material body is ultimately subject to destruction, whereas the spiritual soul is eternal. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu philanthropy activities are performed in connection with the eternal soul. However, one tries to benefit the body, it will be destroyed, and one will have to accept another body according to his present activities. If one does not, therefore, understand this science of transmigration, but considers the body to be all in all, his intelligence is not very advanced. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, without neglecting the necessities of the body, imparted spiritual advancement to purity and existential condition of humanity. Therefore, if a logician makes his judgment impartially, he will surely find that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Maha Vandana Vatra, the most magnanimous incarnation. He is even more magnanimous than Lord Krishna himself. Lord Krishna demanded that one surrender unto himself, but he did not distribute love of Godhead as magnanimously as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Therefore, Srila Rupa Goswami offers Lord Chaitanya his respectful obeisance and the words Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Premaya Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratvishe Namaha. Lord Krishna simply gave the Bhagavad Gita by which one can understand Lord Krishna as he is. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is also Krishna himself, gave people love of Krishna without discrimination.
Wonderful. Wonderful, isn't it? This verse is really one of the treasures you can see. Again, let's read. Shri Chaitanya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Karaha Vichar Karile Chitte Paive Chamatkar. If you are indeed interested in logic and argument, kindly apply it to the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. If you do so, you will find it to be strikingly wonderful. So, okay, with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's blessings, We'll proceed with our discussion. Right. So we can see that in this, so what's the need basically? What's the connection? How does it help in our day-to-day life? These pastimes of Lord, the Jagannatha Ratha Yatra, what's the connection? So that's what we are trying to figure it out now. That in this modern world, we have made a lot of advancement. We can connect with a cell phone, we can connect somebody other side of the world. Right? We can fly in airplane and laptop, computer. There are so many advancement on medical field, but we can see that actually there is no peace of mind. People are more stressed out, and there are many different diseases which was not before are happening now. So, and it's actually one of the statistics that was done here says that in 20th century the highest disease will not be cancer, not AIDS, although we know there's so many people actually becoming victim of cancer, but it will be stress. And in fact we know that from stress there are so many other diseases actually come from stress. It secretes some negative energy, from there is some negative chemical, and actually from there there's so many diseases are formed. Lifestyle diseases has come nowadays, right? But on the other side, we are advancing so much. So what's the missing link? Because this is the normal understanding that if you have more money, if you have more car, if you have better house, then we'll be happy, isn't it? But we see there's a big gap, because many of the rich people are committing suicide. So there is something missing. And that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. He says in chapter 5, text 29, another beautiful verse, Bhaktaram yagna tapasam sarvaloko maheshwaram shuhidam sarvabhutanam gyatyamam shantimicchati. This beautiful verse Srila Prabhupada told as peace formula. So the missing link is Krishna. That link we have missed. And that's what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. So, I am the proprietor of the whole universe. Bhoktaram, I am the Bhokta. The problem is we are trying to be the center of enjoyment, and that's why there is so much gap between the expectation and reality. We are trying to enjoy something, but then we are not the enjoyer. So inevitably there is a frustration. We forgot to put Krishna in the center in this today's modern world. So the translation of this beautiful verse is, a person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the Supreme Lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from the pangs of material miseries. So we can see that the Lord actually Krishna actually telling that, put me in the center, and that way you will achieve the peace. And that is why there are so many different pastimes of Lord. That is why there are festivals. That is why there is Ratha Yatra, so that we can connect to the Lord, and the whole world actually can be in peace by that. So we are trying to solve so many problems, but again we forgot that the real problem in life is birth, death, old age and disease. So these problems, nobody can solve these problems. And that constantly gives us suffering, life after life after life. So in the chapter 13, Nature, the Enjoyer and Consciousness, text 9 actually, this wonderful line comes, Janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukkha dosanu darshanam. So this Janma mrityu jara vyadhi, these are the real problems. And that's why we see that business on those aspects are evergreen. For example, twin stone, that in the graveyard what people put, or the hospitals, there's no recession for them because they are guaranteed customers. So this today's world, this is not only they have weapons of mass destruction, they also have weapons of mass distraction. Distraction means they can distract everybody from the real goal of life, from the real problems in life. And they are constantly giving a promise of the material happiness. They're promising, one advertisement they're showing, have this car, have this latest gadget, and you'll become happy. But that never happens because that does not solve. It can agitate our mind, but it does not solve the real problem of life. So that's why it is important to go deeper into the root to understand where is the problem, how can we solve it. So I'll tell you one story. That's why we should emphasize on building some real values in life. That means building the character. So I'll tell you one story where it exemplifies how a good character can bring a big change even if it is unnoticed. Because sometimes people have this idea that unless it is noticed, especially any good work, if it is unnoticed, it has got no meaning, then what is the use of doing it? But then once upon a time in India, there was the great king Ashok, and he was a very powerful king. So what happened is one day he planned to attack, he wanted to expand his kingdom, and he planned to attack the province of Kalinga. So first, initially, he sent a small army, pocket of some few soldiers, and then King Kalinga actually defeated them. And this made King Ashok very furious. So what he did is he attacked Kalinga with a full army. And he devastated the whole kingdom. And Kalinga, their strength was not much compared to Ashok. So all the people actually joined the king of Kalinga. He appealed everybody. And then even the old people, children, everyone joined the army trying to help. But Ashok's soldiers, they completely destroyed all of them. So it was mentioned that it's like a river of blood flowing, because practically he killed everybody. And then with the intoxication of that see, you try to harm me, but I have taken a revenge in such a big way. So I have given the befitting reply. With that intoxication, with his bloodthirsty sword. He was just taking a stock of situation. And there he sees a very unusual sight. And that sight is that a monk, a really harmless person, entering that same place of devastation and trying to help some soldiers who did not fully die. So there were some soldiers who are half died, and on their death time they are looking for some water. So this monk was helping them with little bit of water to everybody. So he was helping the dying people as he could. He did not speak any big philosophy, or he did not expect that anybody will notice him. But he was just giving water what they needed. And by seeing that simple act, which was apparently unnoticed, there was a big turmoil of emotion in King Ashoka's heart. He started thinking that by killing these people and putting this helmet in my head, is that the goal of life? He started contemplating, what am I doing? For the first time, he asked the question, what's the goal of life? Why I am here? And how to eliminate suffering? For the first time, this apparently unnoticed act of this monk, this good act, created a revolution in his heart. And we know rest is history. Then he took shelter of Lord Buddha and his followers, and he spread the Buddhism not only in India, but some countries that we can't even think, like Malaysia, China, and Southeast Asia. He did a big propagation which an ordinary person cannot do. The same king who was in one extreme of violence switched to another extreme of non-violence just by the mere apparently unnoticed act, a good act of a person. Such is the power of a good act. Sometimes we notice that even a small child, when they have a good character, that really melts somebody's heart, right? So it's really important that we develop good character, and that really in this age of Kali, it's really achieved by chanting the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this medicine is bought by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Enechi Oshodi Maya Nashibara Lagi, Hari Nama Maha Mantra Lao Tumi Magi. This holy name, it acts like a scrubber, and all our dirty thinking, envious thinking automatically vanishes. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu get 8 verses. Out of that, the first one is Cheto Darpanamarjanam Bhavamahadavagni Nirbharpanam Shreya Kairava Chandrika Vitaranam Vidyavadhu Jivanam. Cheto Darpana Marchanam, our heart, which is covered by the clay, dust, dirt of many lifetimes of selfish desires, dirty thinkings, enviousness, automatically vanishes when we take shelter of the holy name. Such is the power of the holy name. We should never underestimate it. Sometimes people ask question, I'm chanting for such a long time. But why I don't see any change? But the fact is that the change is happening right here, right in here in San Jose, in our home or temple, when we chant here, then the Bhakti Lata beach is growing. We may not notice it due to our limited vision or our not purified vision, but it is happening. And this Bhakti Lata beach grows, and it goes to the spiritual world, and it takes shelter of the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna, and they taste the fruit, and after that they give us the fruit. All that is happening right when we are chanting the holy name. So it is never to be underestimated. There are many examples also in the past. Billa Mangal Thakur, he took the holy name of the Lord, and then he became such a great saint. And then there are so many Balmiki Muni. He became Balmiki just by chanting the holy name. And there is another wonderful story that recently happened actually. So in Mayapur, one time, one brahmachari, Indian brahmachari, there he was in his room. He got a roommate who is a Western body person. So he is staying in the same room. And at the night time, while sleeping, this Indian devotee says that in India we have this all out, right, which kills the mosquitoes and we can peacefully sleep. So Indian devotee says that, okay, I'll put this all out and then let's sleep. And this Western person, he says that, Prabhu, I have something to say, that in Dham, this is Mayapur is a Dham, and even the mosquitoes are also Dhambasis. So why kill them? Better you can search for a Machardani or mosquito net and take it, and so that in a way you are also safe and mosquitoes are also safe. So at night 8:30, he goes to search for a mosquito net, and he comes back, and then he says that then anyway he sleeps, and with lot of difficulty he finds a mosquito net after 1 hour. Who will find at 8:30? Mayapur means if you have gone there, 8 o'clock everybody sleeps. They get up at 3 o'clock. And then next day morning, and this person was thinking, I am such a big brahmachari and this person give me a lecture of which I could not refute. I have given so many lectures on compassion and this and that. So next day he calls this person, who are you? Means he is a brahmachari also, and big body, 6 feet tall with muscles and all. But who are you actually? What's your past? So this person says, actually I am 7-8 years back, I was a commander in Serbian army, and 100 soldiers used to work under me. And what I used to do? So he went on telling his story. He said, what I used to do is, every day when there is a fight, I would take the rifles, and we would go to villages and we would kill the men, and children with the front of the rifle, there's a bonnet, we'll just poke them in their belly and pick them up like this, and we'll abuse the women, and we would at least kill 1,000 people every day. This was our daily activity, and like that we would proceed. So what happened? So then one day, while he invaded one village, this commander, he puts his rifle on one man, but he notices something unusual, that this person is not afraid, because when one is close to death, you have noticed, they are very afraid, right? They are very scared. But he is not afraid. there's something different with this person, and he has a sign of peace, Shanti, in his face. That is very evident. Then he challenges this person that, Are I'm going to kill you. Are you not afraid? You have no fear? This person says, No, I'm not afraid of my death. Why you are not afraid? So he's thought, before I fire him, let me ask a couple of questions, and then I'll finish him off. Why you are not afraid? And he took the rifle more near to him. You are going to die soon. And he said, do you have the guts to, this person, do you have the guts to kill me? This person is asking, and he is like shocked. What? I have a rifle, my rifle is loaded, and you are asking me guts to kill him? Yes. Only if you can kill me, then only I'll be afraid, right? What do you mean? He said, because I'm not the body, I'm the soul. What? Then this commander's people notices that there is some conversation going on, and they think that maybe he needs some help. So all of them came. Sir, do you need any help? He said, no. I'll take care of him. I'll take care of him. You guys go. Then he takes him in a house, locks the door, and says, tell me more. Because it's the first time I'm hearing, and I'm hearing that, and I'm seeing that a person who is different. And then from his pocket, he took out a book, Bhagavad Gita as it is, by Krishna Kripa Murti, His Divine Grace, who gives Kripa to the whole world of Krishna. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. And then he tells the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita. So outside war is going on, and it's like in the same settings of Kurukshetra where Bhagavad Gita was spoken. So inside this, it's a different setting, but it's a similar thing. So inside this discussion is going on, outside bloodshed and firing is going on. So this person gives 2 hours lecture to this person, discussion. And how did you get it? This Bhagavad Gita. Oh, actually one day my brother was traveling in a flight and he met a book distributor. And he was led by his flight. This book distributor forcefully trying to put Bhagavad Gita in his hand. He says, my flight will be missed. I have to catch the flight. So this person tells, you catch this Gita and catch the flight also. And all your life's problem will be solved. So he takes this Gita, and in the flight his brother opens. He doesn't understand anything. Puts the book in his pocket. And he gives it to his brother who is sitting next. Nothing I have understood. Somebody is trying to just catch me and this. You take it and see if you can do something with it. That changed his life. So this is the power of the character that I was talking about. Not big philosophy is required to be spoken. One example is more powerful than 1,000 words spoken. So these 2 people, they then plan to escape the country, get out of the country, and they joined the nearest Hare Krishna temple. This is the same person who was talking about not killing a mosquito. Just see the change of heart. This is happening even today. All glories to Param Vijayate Shri Krishna Sankirtanam. So this is the power. So that's why Lord Jagannath comes out and he's accompanied by tumultuous kirtans. Right? We'll maybe read for some time Lord Jagannath pastime as well, so that we can release that. But this is the purpose. The Lord giving us an opportunity to connect with Him, to purify with Him, to take shelter of the holy name, to start our account, spiritual account with Him. This is the golden opportunity of Ratha Yatra. This is the magnanimous opportunity, arrangement created by the most magnanimous Lord. So, when we take shelter of the holy name of chanting, then what happens is our hearts becomes clean. And to this extent, Srila Rupa Goswami also writes in Nectar of Devotion, right? Anya vilasita sunyam jnana karmadi anabritam anukullena krishnanu silanam bhaktiruttama. Sri Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11. When first class devotional service develops, one must be devoid of all material desires. Knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. Right? So this is the benefit, that jnana, karma, all the different desires that vanish from the heart. And also in the Vishnu Dharma, there is a statement glorifying this process of in Nectar of Devotion, chapter 9, also it comes. In the Vishnu Dharma, there is a statement glorifying this process of congregational chanting. My dear king, this word Krishna is so auspicious that anyone who chants this holy name immediately gets rid of the resultant actions of sinful activities from many, many births. This is a fact. There is the following statement in Chaitanya Charitamrita. A person who chants the holy name of Krishna once can counteract the resultant actions of more sinful activities than he is able to perform. A sinful man can perform many, many sinful activities, but he is unable to perform so many that they cannot be wiped out by one single uttering of Krishna. And I remember this beautiful statement by His Grace Bashashik Prabhu in our initiation recently. See, he was mentioning that don't try to be a great devotee, but try to be a great chanter so that you can become a good devotee. So it's really, really important that we take shelter of the holy name and thereby purify our existence. So I think enough of philosophy it was required. But if you have any questions, after this, what I'm thinking is I'll read from Chaitanya Charitamrita on Ratha Yatra, and then we'll sing Jagannatha Ashtakam, and then we'll again discuss Lord Jagannath's pastimes. So philosophy is important because that puts us to the right perspective. So it's important. So if you have any comments, corrections, questions, we could discuss at this time, and after this we'll read from Chaitanya Charitamrita for 15 minutes.
So, Prabhuji, when we were a student, we read about King Ashoka. We read that King Ashoka had a change of heart after seeing So King Ashoka had a change of heart after seeing the killing and the bloodshed and all those things, right? But we didn't know that that was a small act of a monk that changed his heart. I mean, in history and all, we learned that, okay, he, the Kalinga Yuddha was the biggest of all, like, so many people, so many soldiers, and everyone died. And seeing that bloodshed, he changed and he completely took like U-turn kind of from his life, becoming a very powerful king, and then just became kind of monk, and he started spreading the Buddhism to Japan and different Asian countries. But we didn't know that was the story behind his change of heart. A small act of a monk, distributing water to the fallen soldiers, changed his heart. And
yeah,
so
see, it's a beautiful. That's how powerful example is. How powerful example is that it has the power to change people's heart. On the contrary, that's why Srila Prabhupada said, one person asked Srila Prabhupada, the reporter, how do we figure out who your disciple is? Prabhupada said, they will be perfect gentlemen. So it's example, right? Again, he is talking about character. Sometimes people may speak philosophy, but if it's not substantiated by a good character, it does not stand. In fact, it can create more harm. So on the name of religion, biggest harms today are created by, right? But these, apparently unnoticed, somebody may be cleaning in the temple. That's why Vaisheshik Prabhu's statement is so relevant. It's not required to be a great devotee, but it is required to be a good devotee. Because that can create a very big impact, right? So it's definitely relevant. You see again that Serbian person, that Serbian commander, right? Such a ferocious, who is after so much violence, he got changed by seeing a simple act of a person who was unnoticed in one corner, and he changed the heart of this commander, right? And this change of heart when happens, when people genuinely embrace this path of devotion, then how much they can do. See, King Ashoka, what he has done, it's not possible for an ordinary person to do, right? Judge Harishan, how much he preached. Srila Prabhupada said, no need to change your position, right? Just change the consciousness. How much he preached, because he wrote this Krishna book, introduction, and he also, that album he sang, My Sweet Lord, Oh my Lord. That changed the heart of millions of people. And that's what, isn't it? That's what we are after in the devotional life also. But Maya plays a trick. She gives different things and then we run away. So yes, we all have the potential to do the same. We all can be a great ambassador of love of Godhead by we ourselves becoming a genuine, very good example. We all have that potential to be a change, right? Oh, yes.
Prabhuji, I had a question.
Sure.
What we call we, the body, is a material thing.
Right.
The soul or the Atma is separate, which is never born, never dies. It's just in this box, and the box decays and the Atma separates. Now this is what we call the Jivatma.
Yes.
The Jivatma's every effort of this body, this life of ours, is to get moksha, that is join with the Paramatma. That means the Jivatma and Paramatma are two separate entities. The effort of the Jivatma should be go to the Paramatma and no more get into this cycle of birth and death. Okay, and come to this Mrityu-loka and suffer all the sufferings. Now, why at all the Paramatma, who is the caretaker of everything created by him or his demigod Brahma, make this Jivatma separate from him and suffer all this? Why doesn't he keep us always with him as in Paramatma itself? I just wanted to enhance my knowledge on this, if you could share with me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for this wonderful question. Really appreciate. So Krishna is all merciful. He's like a loving mother, most merciful. But sometimes he has to do this. I'll give you an example so that that illustrate will help understand, because that's a very high level. Sometimes a loving parent, has to let the child go through a difficult experience to understand some lesson that he needs to learn. One time, Srila Prabhupada, his small child, Prabhupada's son actually, he wanted to touch the fan that was moving. So what Prabhupada did is, because children, they're curious, they will touch anyways. What you don't tell them to, they'll do that. So Prabhupada switched up the fan and it was rotating, and then let him touch it. He got little hurt, but by that experience, he learned that I don't want to do this again. Please note, this was the desire of the child, right? So, what Krishna ultimately wants, he wants, like a loving parent, when they miss their son, they always want them to be back, right? So Krishna, more than we, Krishna is more eager for us to come back. In fact, Brihad Bhagavatamrita, there is an example that when Gopakumara actually goes back, Krishna embraces and he faints. That's the love Krishna has for us. And he wants more than us to come back. And that's why Krishna created this world, because we desire to enjoy separately from him, which is harmful for us. Just like the child wanted to touch the fan and hurt himself. We desired to be Krishna. We envied Krishna. Envy is the reason why we fell down. That is why it is so difficult to get rid of envy. In fact, envy means N.V. means no vacancy. So when we have envy, spiritual world says no vacancy. So that's the most difficult thing to get rid of. That's why we blaspheme so many people. That's why we are envious of Krishna. That is the original reason why we fell down. Now Krishna has to create, although he don't want to, but he has to create a place where the jiva has to go through the experience and then turn back to Krishna. Because when we might have seen that when we pay a price for something, we value it, right? What comes cheap goes also quickly, right? When you pay the price to earn it, to value it. And that's why Krishna, in this world, which even demigods don't like to come, he comes personally. Why Supreme Lord has to come into this material world? The Lord comes in the form of a deity. He becomes dependent on devotees' love and care. If we don't take care of him properly, still he stands like that smiling. He tolerates. Why? Why he has to do it? He is Supreme Lord. Everything belongs to him. But he takes all the trouble. See Lord Jagannath. He is coming out to the roads. That for the people who can't go to temple, Krishna said, chant my holy name. We can't chant the holy name. Okay, I am coming out. I will go to the every nook and corner, every street, dirty place, and I will give you darshan. Just take my darshan. That's how merciful Krishna is. Krishna's mercy, we can't fathom. We can't even imagine what it is. That's why Srila Prabhupada says the closest example of Krishna's love, which is closest. Krishna's love is billion times more than that. The closest resemblance of Krishna's love in this world is the love between a mother and a child. We know that even a mother and child, even if they are separated physically, the love never goes. So they still keep thinking, right? Only death can separate. So that's the closest resemblance. Imagine how much would be Krishna's love, which is billions times and trillions times more than that, and a pure platform. That's how Krishna loving is. But just like a parent who sometimes has to let his rebellious child go through experience so that he comes back, Krishna has to create this world very unwillingly. And then we have to go through this. But then Krishna creates enough facilities. Devotees are coming after us and constantly giving us books. He has created so many facilities. There's always an opportunity to turn our back towards Krishna. And when we turn back, actually we transcend this suffering. Then every situation becomes an opportunity to connect to Krishna actually. It is no longer a suffering because we are not the body, we are the soul. Not only that, every situation is an opportunity to come connect deeper. If there is a suffering, then we thank Krishna for that. We are grateful so that we can take a lesson out of it and we connect deeper. It's an opportunity to take deeper shelter to Krishna. And if there is a blessings, we are grateful for it. Either case, we are grateful. And also, because of our bad karmic bank account, because of our past sinful reactions, suffering comes. But how we do our future karma? See, past karma we don't have any control. But future karma we can decide depending on how we respond to it. Either we can be complaining and miserable, or we can be grateful. So the response, we have the free will to respond to the situation and take it up as an opportunity and to make greater, we can make more closer to Krishna, we can go make our bonding deeper. Hope this answers. Thank you. So Madhya Lila will read for some time, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then we'll sing Jagannatha Ashtakam, and then some of the very sweet pastimes of Jagannatha we are going to discuss. So we are going to go to the chapter 13. See, Krishna has made this Chaitanya Charitamrita available to us, which we can relish the pastimes of the Lord, right? Which can connect. Anyway, let's start reading. Let's take, all of us take turn. A summary of this chapter is Madhya Lila chapter 13, Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, the ecstatic dancing of the Lord at Ratha Yatra. A summary of this chapter is given by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur in his Amrita Prabaho Bhashya as follows. After bathing early in the morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw deities Jagannath, Baladeva and Subhadra get abroad their 3 cars. This function is called Pandu Vijay. At that time, King Prataprudra took a broom with a golden handle and began to cleanse the road. See, again an example. A great king. He is cleaning the road. Isn't that an example? That's the simplicity. Wonderful. Anyway, let's keep reading. Lord Jagannath took permission from the goddess of fortune and then started in the car for the Gundicha temple. The road to the temple led along a broad sandy beach, and on both sides of the road were residential quarters, houses and gardens. Along the road, the servants called Gaudars began to pull the cars. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu divided his Sankirtan party into 7 divisions, with 2 mridangas in each division. There were altogether 14 mridangas. While performing Kirtan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exhibited various symptoms of transcendental ecstasy, and Jagannath and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu exchanged their feelings very blissfully. When the cars reached the place known as Balagandi, the devotees offered the deities simple food. At that time, in a nearby garden, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his devotees took a brief rest from the dancing. Mataji, you want to read the next one?
May the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who danced in front of the car of Sri Jagannatha, be all glorified. By seeing his dancing, not only was the whole universe held in wonder, but Lord Jagannatha himself became very astonished. All glories to Sri Krishna Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda, all glories to Advaita Acharya, and all glories to the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to the listeners of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please hear the description of the dancing of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu at the Rath Yatra festival. His dancing is very enchanting. Please hear it with great attention. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal associates got up in the dark and attentively took their early morning bath. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his personal associates then went to see the ceremony of Pandu Vijaya. During this ceremony, Lord Jagannatha leaves his throne and gets up onto the car. King Prataprudra in person, as well as his entourage, allowed the Pandu Vijaya ceremony to be seen by all the associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his prominent devotees, Advaita Acharya, Nityananda Prabhu and others, were very happy to observe how Lord Jagannatha began the Rath Yatra. The very strong built carriers of Jagannatha deity were as powerful as drunken elephant. They manually carried Lord Jagannath from the throne to the car. While carrying the deity of Lord Jagannath, some of the deities took hold of the shoulders of the Lord, and some caught his lotus feet. So, the Lord Jagannatha deity was bound at the waist by a strong, thick rope made by silk. From 2 sides, the deities caught hold of this rope and raised the deity.
Okay, one second. Prabhuji, would you like?
Can you just point to where we...
Yeah, 11.
Strong, puffed up cotton pads called tufts were spread out from the throne of the car, and the heavy deity of Lord Jagannath was carried from one pillow-like pad to the next by the deities. While the deities carried the heavy Jagannath deity from one pad to the next, some of the pads broke and the cotton contents floated into the air. When they broke, they made a heavy cracking sound. Lord Jagannath is the maintainer of the whole universe, who can carry him from one place to another. The Lord moves by his personal will just to perform his pastimes. While the Lord was transported from the throne to the car, tumultuous sounds were made on the various musical instruments. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was chanting Manima, Manima, but he could not be heard. While the Lord was being carried from throne to the car, King Prataprudra personally engaged in the Lord's service by cleansing the road with a broom that had a golden handle. The king sprinkled the road with sandalwood scented water. Although he was the owner of the royal throne, he engaged in menial service for the sake of the Lord Jagannath. Although the king was the most exalted, respectable person, still he accepted the menial service for the Lord. He therefore became a suitable candidate for receiving the Lord's mercy. Upon seeing the king engaged in such menial service, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. Simply by rendering this service, the king received the mercy of the Lord. Everyone was astonished to see the decoration of the Rathi car. The car appeared to be newly made of gold, and it was high as Mount Sumeru. The decorations included bright mirrors and hundreds of chamaras, white bisque made of yak tail. On top of the car were a neat and clean canopy and a very beautiful flag.
Okay,
The car.
Thank you. 10 each. The car was also decorated with silken cloth and various pictures. Many brass bells, gongs, ankle bells rang. For the pastimes of the Rath Yatra ceremony, Lord Jagannath got abroad one car, and his sister Subhadra and elder brother Balaram got abroad 2 other cars. For 15 days, the Lord had remained in a secluded place with the Supreme Goddess of Fortune and had performed his pastimes with her. Having taken permission from the Goddess of Fortune, the Lord came out to ride on the Ratha car and perform his pastimes for the pleasure of the devotees. The fine white sand spread all over the path resembled the bank of Yamuna, and the small gardens on both sides looked just like those in Vrindavan. As Lord Jagannath rode in his car and saw the beauty on both sides, his mind was filled with pleasure. The pullers of one car were known as Gauras, and they pulled with great pleasure. However, the car sometimes went very fast and sometimes very slow. Sometimes the car would stand still and not move, even though it was pulled very vigorously. The chariot therefore moved by the will of the Lord, not by the strength of any ordinary person. As the car stood still, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gathered all his devotees and with his own hand decorated them with flower garlands and sandalwood pulp. Paramananda Puri and Brahmananda Bharati were both personally given garlands and sandalwood pulp from the very hands of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This increased their transcendental pleasure.
Similarly, when Advaita Acharya and Nityananda Prabhu felt the touch of the transcendental hand of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they were very pleased. The Lord also gave garlands and sandalwood pulp to the performers of Sankirtana. The 2 chief performers were Swarupa Damodara and Srivasa Thakura. There were altogether 4 parties of Kirtana performers, comprising 24 chanters. In each party there were also 2 mridanga players, making an additional 8 persons. When the 4 parties were formed, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after some consideration, divided the chanters. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ordered Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Acharya, Haridas Thakura and Vakriseva Pandita to dance in each of 4 respective parties. Swarup Damodar was chosen as the leader of the first party and was given 5 assistants to respond to his chanting. The 5 who responded to the singing of Swarup Damodar were Damodar Pandit, Narayana, Govindatta, Raghava Pandit and Sri Govindananda. Advaita Acharya Prabhu was ordered to dance in the first group. The Lord then formed another group with Srivasa Thakura as the chief man. The 5 singers who responded to the singing of Srivasa Thakura were Gangadasa, Haridas, Sriman, Subhananda and Sri Rama Pandita. Sri Nityananda Prabhu was appointed as the dancer. Another group was formed consisting of Vasudeva, Gopinatha and Murari. All these were responsive singers, and Mukunda was the chief singer. And
Prabhuji, would you like to read 41 to 50?
Another 2 persons, Shrikanta and Vallabha Sena, joined as responsive singers. In this group, the senior Haridasa Thakur was the dancer. The Lord formed another group appointing Govinda Gosha as leader. In this group, the younger Haridasa, Vishnudasa and Raghava were the responding singers. Two brothers named Madhava Gosha, Vasudeva Gosha also joined this group and responsive singers. Varkeshwara Pandita was the dancer. There was a Sankirtana party from the village known as Kulina Grama, and Ramananda and Satyaraja were appointed the dancers in this group. There was another party that came from Santipura and was formed by the Advaita Acharya. Achyutananda was the dancer and the rest of the men were singers. Another party was formed by the people of Khanda. These people were singing in a different place. In that group, Narahari Prabhu and Raghunandana were dancing. Four parties chanted and danced in front of Lord Jagannatha, and on either side was another party, yet another was at the rear. There were altogether 7 parties, Sankirtana, and in each party 2 men were beating drums. Thus 14 drums were being played at once. The sound was tumultuous and the devotees became mad. All the Vaishnavas came together like assembly of clouds. As the devotees chanted the holy names in great ecstasy, tears fell from their eyes like rain. When the Sankirtana resounded, it filled the 3 worlds indeed. No one could hear any sounds or musical instruments other than the Sankirtana.
Okay,
Lord
please.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wandered through all 7 groups, chanting the holy name, Hari, Hari. Raising his arms, he shouted, "All glories to Lord Jagannath." Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then exhibited another mystic power by performing pastimes simultaneously in all the 7 groups. Everyone said, "Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present in my group. Indeed, he does not go anywhere else. He is bestowing his mercy upon us." Actually, no one could see the inconceivable potency of the Lord. Only the most confidential devotees, those in pure, unalloyed devotional service, could understand. Lord Jagannath was very much pleased by the Sankirtan, and he brought his car to a standstill just to see the performance. King Prataparudra was also astonished to see the Sankirtan. He became inactive and was converted to ecstatic love of Krishna. When the king informed Kashi Mishra of the glories of the Lord, Kashi Mishra replied, "O king, your fortune has no limits." The king and Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya were both aware of the Lord's activities, but no one else could see the tricks of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Only a person who has received the mercy of the Lord can understand. Without the Lord's mercy, even the demigods headed by Lord Brahma cannot understand. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had been very satisfied to see the king accept the menial task of sweeping the street. And for this humility, the king received the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He could therefore observe the mystery of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's activities. Okay, we'll stop now. We'll just want to hear, sing. We'll be singing now Jagannath Ashtakam. That's 8 verses glorifying Lord Jagannath. So first we'll read the meaning of it and then we'll sing ourselves. And after that, so approximately 9:30 we'll finish that, and after that we'll hear some pastimes of Lord Jagannath. Some really sweet pastimes. Okay. Jagannatha Ashtakam. 1 second. Okay, let me pull that.
Do you want me to put it?
Oh, Jagannath Ashtakam. Okay, Prabhu. Prabhu, I got it. Alright. So let's read translation. So we'll read maybe 3 each. Okay, yeah, total 9 exactly. Sometimes in great happiness, Lord Jagannath makes a loud concert with his flute in the groves on the banks of Jamuna. He is like a bumblebee, testing the beautiful lotus-like faces of the cowherd damsels of Braja, and great personalities such as Lakshmi, Shiva, Brahma, Indra and Ganesha worship his lotus feet. May that Jagannath Swami be the subject of my vision. In his left hand, Lord Jagannath holds a flute. On his head he wears peacock feathers, and on his hips he wears fine yellow silken cloth. From the corners of his eyes he bestows sidelong glances upon his loving devotees, and he always reveals himself through his pastimes in his divine abode of Vrindavan. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. On the shore of the great ocean, within a large palace atop the brilliant golden Nilachal hill, Lord Jagannath resides with his powerful brother Baladev and his sister Subhadra, who sits between them. May that Jagannath Swami, who bestows the opportunity for devotional service upon all godly souls, be the object of my vision.
Lord Jagannath is an ocean of mercy and is as beautiful as a row of blackish rain cloud. He is the storehouse of bliss of Lakshmi and Saraswati, and his face resembles a spotless full-blown lotus. The best of demigods and sages worship him, and the Upanishad sings his glories. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision. When Lord Jagannath moves along the road on his Rath Yatra car, at every step large assemblies of Brahmanas loudly chant prayers and songs for his pleasure. Hearing that hymns, Lord Jagannath becomes very favorably disposed towards them. He is the ocean of mercy and the true friend of all the world. May that Jagannatha Swami, along with his consort Lakshmi, who was born from the ocean of nectar, be the object of my vision. Lord Jagannath, whose eyes resemble full-blown lotus petal, is the ornament on the Lord Brahma's head. He resides on Nilachala hill with his lotus feet placed on the heads of Anantadeva. Overwhelmed by the mellow of love, he joyfully embraces Srimati Radharani's body, which is like a cool pond. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision.
Prabhu, would you like to read last 3?
Number 7.
Yes.
I do not pray for a kingdom nor for gold, rubies or wealth. I do not ask for a beautiful wife as desired by all men. I simply pray that Jagannath Swami, whose glories Lord Shiva always sings, may be the constant object of my vision. O Lord of the demigods, please quickly remove this useless material existence I am undergoing. O Lord of the Yadus, please destroy this vast, shoreless ocean of sins. This is certain. Lord Jagannath bestows his lotus feet upon those who feel themselves fallen and have no shelter in this world but him. May that Jagannath Swami be the object of my vision, that devoted and virtuous soul who recites these 8 verses glorifying the Lord Jagannath became cleansed of all sins and duly proceeds to Lord Vishnu's abode. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Kadachit Kalindi Tat
Prabhu.
Vipina Sangeetka Ravo.
Flip to this one, so I'll play YouTube. Laptop. Yeah. So there's a song and we'll repeat together. So we'll just follow a song. It will be easy. So it has all music and everything, so it will be a little more help us. Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhava Tume Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhava Tume Bhoje Save Venam Shirasi Shikhi Pecham Katidate Dukulamritrante Samachari Kataksham Vedadhate Sada Srimad Vrindavana Vasati Leela Parichayo Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhava Tume Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhava Tume Mahambodestire Kanakaruchire Nila Shikhare Vasan Prasadanta Sahaja Balabhadre Nabalina Subhadra Madhyastha Sakala Sura Seva Vasarado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhava Tume Jagannatha
Surendra-Radhya Shruti-Gana Shikha Gita Charito Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhavatu Me Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhavatu Me Rathayuddho gachan patimilita bodeva patalaye Stuti pradhurbhavam patipadamupakanya sadaya Daya Sindhu Bandhu Sakala Jagatam Sindhu Sutaya Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhavatu Me Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhavatu Me Param Brahma Pida Kovalaya Dalot Fulanayano Nivasini Ladroni Hita Charano Nanta Shirasi Rasanandi Radha Sarasa Vapura Lingana Sukho Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhavatu Me Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhavatu Me Navaya Shira Jana Chakanaka Manekya Vibhavam Naya Cheham Ramyam Sakala Janakamyam Varavadhum Sada Kale Kale Pramatha Patina Gita Charito Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhavatu Me Jagannatha Swami Nayana Tatagami Bhavatu Me Haratram Samsaram Drutataranam Surapate Haratram Papanam Ditatim Aparam Yadavapate Ahoti Menate Nihita Charano Nishchitamedam
Wonderful. So we'll now listen to some wonderful pastimes of Lord Jagannath. Yeah. So we'll first discuss the story of appearance of Lord Jagannath. How Lord Jagannath actually came in this world, how he appeared. So this pastime is described by Jaimini Rishi in Skanda Puran to an assembly of sages. So you get the pastime from there. It is also given in Padma Puran and also in Purushottam Mahatma, the diary of Lord Jagannath. So 3 scriptures, they refer to Lord Jagannath pastimes, the details. So it so happened that on one Ekadashi, the Brajavasis, they went to Kurukshetra because they heard that Krishna is there. So they wanted to meet their beloved Krishna after a long time. So they all went there. And then what happened is the devotees from Dwarka, they have not seen the pastime of Lord Krishna in his childhood. So they ask Rukmini Devi to kindly tell the story of Lord Krishna in his childhood. But if you see actually the stories, the pastimes of Lord Krishna in Brajavasis narrate, it will be mostly in the affection of love coming out in some kind of complaint that they love to go to Mother Yashoda and complain. In that way they discuss the pastimes of the Lord. So just like Krishna stole butter, or Krishna when one gopi was taking to Mother Yashoda, then Krishna took the form of his child, and when that gopi came before Mother Yashoda, then Mother Yashoda say, what's wrong? Means this is your child, he took your butter, so what's wrong in that? She was surprised, and then when she came back, then Krishna changed his form and smiled at her and said that next time you take, I'll take the form of your husband. So such stories is mostly in the complaining mode, but they relish the Lord's pastime because they are pure devotees. So they decided, because it's going to be mostly complaints on Krishna, so they decided that somebody should be guard so that Krishna cannot come. So they put Sister Subhadra as a doorkeeper, that nobody should enter. And the katha started, and both sides, the exchanging of love going on, and it's becoming deeper and deeper. And Subhadraman is completely absorbed. She didn't even notice that one time Krishna and Balaram both came, and they are standing, all of them are absorbed in the exchange of love. And they are so absorbed that out of ecstasy, ecstatic symptoms manifested in their heart. And their hand goes into the body. So like that, all the different limbs, they shrink. It's different, very ecstatic, high-level ecstatic pastime, ecstatic symptoms. And that is the form of Lord Jagannath, Baladev and Subhadra. Krishna took that form of Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra. So this is the form of their ecstatic love out of deep emotion for their devotees. It's most merciful form. And Narad Muni happened to be there. He is always there in the right time. And he saw the form of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, Krishna, and he said, "Thank you, my dear Lord, for giving me darshan in this form. But I beg that please let this form also be available in the material world." So that's how the second pastime starts, where that's also mentioned in the Skanda Puran. The story where King Indradumna, there's a great pious king named Indradumna, he and his wife Gundicha, and that's the story in Satyayug. So they used to stay in Avanti Nagar, where Krishna was taught by Sandipani Muni in Ujjain. So in Ujjain, even today, in Ujjain there is Avanti Nagar, it's the old previous name. So there, Indradumna Maharaj, and he was always wanted to see the Lord. Where is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? I want to see face to face. I want to have his darshan. I want to serve him. She was always hankering for that. And out of ecstasy, he was always searching for the Lord. And one day, one person comes and tells him that actually, you know what? This Lord is there in this world. He has come down in the form of Nila Madhava. Nila Madhava. He came in the form of Nila Madhava. Really? I don't know about it. So immediately he sent in 4 directions, 4 teams. And there his expert minister and also very, very pious devotee, Vidyavati. So he did not come back. The rest of the team came back. So then Vidyavati actually make friends with there is a tribal leader, his name is Vishwavashu. So Vishwavashu's daughter Lalita. And then he notices that there is whenever Vishwavashu comes, there is a transcendental fragrant smell in the room. And he wonders that from where this is coming. So then actually Lalita reveals that it's that my father Vishwavashu, he goes to worship Nila Madhava. Really? Nila Madhava? That's the same Nila Madhava searching? But he controls his emotions and he said that I also want to have darshan of Nila Madhava. So then, but Vishwavashu does not agree, but because of his daughter's plea, finally he agrees, but he takes Vidyapati in a blindfold. But he devises a plan actually. He takes some mustard seeds and he drops on the way. And then finally he reaches there. And Vishwavashu opens the blindfold of Vidyapati. And then he goes to collect some paraphernalia for his worship. And in the meantime he sees that there is a crow who falls on that lake that is there right front of in that place. And that place looks so divine. And when the crow falls into that lake, the crow takes the form of the divine 4-armed form of Lord Vishnu and goes to the spiritual world straight. And then Vidyapati thinks, why waste time? Let me jump into the lake and end my life. I want to reach the Lord, the spiritual world. And he actually climbs the tree, and then there is the Akashvani, that voice from the sky, that Vidyapati, don't jump. By serving the Lord Nilamadhava and actually enabling King Indradumna Maharaj to serve the Lord, all your desires will be fulfilled. So then Vidyapati comes down, and then in the meantime Vishwavashu also comes back with the paraphernalia, and then they go back, and in the night, in the dream, Nilamadava tells Vishwavasu that I have accepted your worship for a long time, and now I would like to accept the worship of King Indradumna Maharaj. So by hearing that Vishwavasu's heart is broken, and he thinks Vidyavati to be the cause of it, and he actually ties Vidyavati with a tree. But then with the help of Lalita, Vidyavati is freed, and he goes back from that Nilachal Dham, Jagannath Puri, to Ujjain, and informs King Indradumna. Indradumna immediately he comes back, but what happened is there is a sandstorm, and then Nilmadhav disappears, and the whole place is covered with the sand. And by seeing that, King Indradumna Maharaj becomes very, very heartbroken, and he gives up all his eating, drinking, everything. And then finally the Lord assures him that don't worry, I'll come back in this Kali Yuga, I'll be available in the form of the Daru Brahma. So what happens is the Lord comes in the form of a big wooden log, and there is a beautiful pastime where Vishwakarma actually takes in the form of Brahman, and Vishwakarma comes, and he tells that, okay, I will build this temple, because anybody else would like to carve the deities, the tools were getting broken. So this person said, but there is only one condition. He looks really old. There's one condition, that 21 days I'll do the construction, I'll carve the Lord. So I'll be inside, and it's a very confidential thing, and the door should be locked, and nobody should enter. If anybody enters right then, I'll stop carving the Lord. So King is very anxious, because he's an old Brahmin, he's not taking any food or anything, nothing can go inside. So he was very anxious, and then he used to put his ear. So first 14 days he heard some sound, some tuk-tuk, some sound is coming. After that it completely stopped. The king became very, very anxious, and also it's a Brahma Hatya in his kingdom. So out of that fear, he consulted a minister, what should be done. So finally they decided to open the door. They opens the door, and they see the deities are half completed. And again King Indradumna become really, really heartbroken, that I actually interrupted the carving of Lord Jagannath. So then, and he becomes very upset. Then Lord Jagannath comes in the dream and says, no, actually this is my form, this is my original form. Then the king becomes very happy, and he constructs a big temple, and he starts worshipping. So that's how Lord Jagannath actually appeared all of us, and to all of us. And now by the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, Lord Jagannath worship is all over the world. Every major city, a Ratha Yatra event is happening. So that's the mercy of Srila Prabhupada, who is Jagannath. Jagat means world, Nath. So he is the master of the whole world. So Srila Prabhupada, he took this chariot festival, the Rath pulling festival, to the whole world. And not far from here, from San Francisco, was the first Ratha Yatra, what started in the Western world. And we are going to have 50 years anniversary of ISKCON, and also 50 years anniversary of San Francisco Ratha Yatra. So that's going to happen next Sunday. So please to come. And tomorrow is the Los Angeles Rath Yatra. And so Lord Jagannath's form is called Daru Brahma. So he manifests in the form of a very large, fragrant, reddish log with the sign of Sankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma. And there is a wonderful bathing ceremony 15 days before Rath Yatra. And that in the bathing ceremony is called Snana Yatra. So that's the same day actually the Lord appeared in this world. So he is given bath, and Lord accepts the bathing from anybody, from all the devotees, and he gives darshan. And after that, there's a period of 15 days called Anavashar, where the Lord falls sick because of the so much taking bath. And then after 15 days, the Lord gives darshan. So that wonderful festival is called Netrotsav. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in this Anavasar period, he actually go to Alalnath. And we have also, stone out of separation. Lord Chaitanya embraces and stone out of his love. That stone also melts. And at the time of Netrotsav, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so eager that it is told in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we'll read next week on Wednesday. With the unblinking eyes, he takes darshan of the Lord. And usually Lord Chaitanya stands in Gaurur Stamba, but at the time of Netrotsav, he comes right in the front and he sees Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, he takes darshan directly. So that's the wonderful Netrotsav. And after that, Lord Chaitanya performs dancing. After taking darshan for many hours, he then performs Sankirtan surrounding the Jagannath temple, and there is a big feast after that. So what's the mood of the Rath Yatra? So let's briefly describe what's the moods as we described that it's the gopis actually they are pulling the Rath, the chariot to Vrindavan, and Krishna and Balaram they are also intoxicated because after a long time they are going to Vrindavan. So the gopis they pull the Rath to Vrindavan. So in our context Vrindavan is like our heart, and we are inviting the Lord to please come and reside in our heart. So that's the underlying mood of Rath Yatra. His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, he on Rath Yatra he makes a point that the mood of Rath Yatra is also that way, re-establish our forgotten relationship with Krishna in the mood of separation. So we are busy in so many other things in this world, we have forgotten our connection with the Lord. So by pulling the chariot in the mood of inviting the Lord to our heart, we are re-establishing our connection to the Lord. We are inviting. Okay, and there are few more things, but I think for today we'll stop here. And the next part of the discussion will continue on Wednesday. But in brief, let's see what all we discussed. So we discussed that the mercy of Lord Chaitanya actually can overcome, makes our spiritual life easy in this age of difficult spiritual atmosphere. So we take the shelter of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and there's a beautiful verse also he described that yes, everybody wants to have logic and it's good to have logic, but the logic should be rightly applied to discuss the mercy of Lord Chaitanya. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Daya Karahe Vichar, Vichar Karile Chitte Paive Chamatkar. We saw that verse in 8.15. Discussed that we have advanced a lot, but we don't have peace of mind. So one thing is evident, that we talk to the cell phone on the other part of the world, but we cannot connect to the next person who is sitting in front of us or next or neighbor. So there is, and we saw the missing part is actually Bhaktaram Yagna Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram, that Krishna is the enjoyer and he is the missing link in our life. So the moment we start connecting to him, then we get back the peace of life. And the formula in Bhagavad Gita is this 5.29. So that that helps us to eliminate the expectation and reality gap that we have, which creates stress. So putting Krishna in the center actually helps us achieve the eternal peace. We also saw the real problem in life is birth, death, old age and disease. And in Bhagavad Gita 13.9, Janma Mrityu Chara Vyadhi Dukkha Dosa Anudarsanam. We saw how that is the real problem in life, and there is no recession for the businesses, that is Twin Stone Hospital, this evergreen. We saw how, along with philosophy, how important it is to build the right character, and how even a small act of right doing can transform and create great blessing in the world. We saw that in two stories. In the story of King Ashok, who by seeing the act of compassion of a apparently unnoticed monk, changed his course of life and did a preaching which ordinary person cannot do, and he went from of violence to another extreme of non-violence. And we also saw the Serbian commander who was killing thousands of people, mercilessly children, abusing women, but he, just by the simple example of a simple devotee who was in a remote corner unnoticed, seeing his peace in his face and his conviction, this commander changed his life, and he joined full time, he took the path of devotion, embraced its seriousness, and he was even considering not to kill a mosquito. So he became so compassionate. So it's happening even today. It's not a exaggeration. And we discussed how we also have the hope of being the ambassador of love of Godhead, the positiveness in this world. Be the change that you want to be. We also saw that how taking shelter of the holy name, we can change our heart, and we can the dirtiness in our heart, the different karma gyan, the different unwanted philosophies and all that thing, unwanted material we can get rid of in our heart by chanting the holy name, taking shelter of the path of devotion. We had the sloka Anna Vilashata Sunnam Jnana Karmadi Anamritam Anukullena Krishnanu Silanam Bhaktiruttama. We also discussed how HG Prabhu made this wonderful point that don't be a great devotee, but be a great chanter so that you can be a good devotee. And I think I didn't discuss this. Then we read from Chaitanya Charitamrita. We also sang Jagannatha Ashtakam, and we also discussed the story, pastime of appearance of Lord Jagannath in this world from Skanda Puran we discussed two pastimes. One is how the Brajavasis, they were telling Krishna's naughty pastime. Rukmini Devi was telling to Vasudeva and Devaki, and then Krishna Balaram comes there, and they actually take this wonderful, beautiful, ecstatic form of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, and Narad Muni comes there and he begs the Lord, please have this wonderful form available in this world. Then we see how King Indradumna, because of his devotion to the Lord, actually he tries to find Nil Madhav, and then with time Vidyavati is able to find, and then but Nil Madhav disappears, and then how the Lord comes in the form of Daru Brahma, in the form of a very large fragrant reddish log with signs of Sankha, Chakra, Gada and Padma, and how Vishwakarma ji actually carved the deities of Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, and then they become worshipable all over the world. We also discussed how Srila Prabhupada actually took this Rath Yatra festival to the all over the world, and we also discussed the mood of Rath Yatra, that it is actually pulling the Rath, means the gopis are pulling the Rath, taking the Lord to Vrindavan, and Jagannath Baladev is very intoxicated, very excited that they are going back to Vrindavan. In our context, we are actually inviting the Lord to sit on our heart, and that way we re-establish our forgotten relationship to Krishna in the mood of separation. So thank you very much for you came, you took great effort to come and all your time. Thank you for that. And we have two Rath Yatra festival, one in Los Angeles tomorrow, and next Sunday we have in San Francisco, Golden Gate Park. So please do come and take part in the Rath Yatra. The next part of the discussion will continue. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.